My name is Ashley Ferran, and I teach 4th grade reading and writing at Kip Sharp. What I like about being a resident advisor, well, there's a lot of reasons, but first and foremost, we're all teachers, and what we care most about is our students, and we know that what pushes student achievement is great teaching, and so being a resident advisor, you get to be a part of molding and helping shape great teachers. I also love the partnership. It's really helpful to have another person in the room to help with students in small groups or one-on-one. And the fellows are in class, and so I feel like there's things that I learned from my fellow throughout the year that she's learning in her class, and so it helps me become a better teacher as well. A typical day, well, at the beginning of the year, they start off and gradually take on more responsibilities throughout the year. So now we're at the point where, I guess a typical day, in the morning we meet together before school and talk through what the day will look like, and then we start by pulling small groups in the morning, and she pulls a small group, and I pull one as well, and then I will teach our first period class, and then she takes over and teaches the full second period class. She's also taken over a lot of responsibilities like walking the kids to lunch and to humanities, and times where she's with our class alone. Advice I would give a new resident advisor would be to start strong from the beginning. So really starting off communicating well, communicating your expectations, and also seeking and finding out their expectations, and just being clear. I think one thing my fellow said helped was at the beginning I gave her a calendar of kind of what it would look like each month to take over different responsibilities, and then we just kept communicating about whether that was happening and if there was anything we needed to change. And also like being ready to trust and developing that relationship so that you can trust them with your class and with your students.
Hi, my name is Daniela Yepes, and I am a pre-K4 teacher at KIPP Connect, and I am a resident advisor. I enjoy serving as a resident advisor because I really enjoy helping someone new and understand everything that they have to learn, things that I didn't know my first year, and being able to help them get through those first weeks, first months, and even the complete year. A typical day as a resident advisor looks like a lot of observing and giving feedback to each other. We take turns teaching lessons, and we have parent conferences together. We grade, we give assessments together, and just a lot of communication back and forth. The advice I would give future resident advisors is to have open communication with your fellow, and keep yourself organized, because there's a lot of paperwork and other things that you have to keep in check.
Hi, my name is Heather Johnson, and I teach at KIPP Houston High School, English 1, 9th grade. I enjoy being a resident advisor because I think that it's super important for us to be able to teach teachers how to teach well and how to love kids, and so I love having this opportunity to help teachers find their passion and figure out how to be a teacher well. I also love being a resident advisor because it's nice not being in your classroom all by yourself. It's good to have an extra pair of hands when it comes to lesson planning, when it comes to grading, managing classroom behavior. It's definitely been a joy for me this year to work with my Relay Fellow, because we get to talk about how to tweak lesson plans in between classes. We get to joke around with each other, and I've honestly found a lot of joy this year in doing that. A typical day as a resident advisor is really just like any other day that you're teaching school. You work with kids, you grade, you lesson plan. It's just nice because you have an extra pair of hands in the classroom. One thing that I would say that is different about my year this year being a resident versus last year when I was not a resident is that you do need to dedicate some time during your planning periods to talk with your fellow and to give them some feedback on their lessons, talk through with them the ins and outs of the profession, so that way they know how to manage a grade book, they know how to lesson plan, they know how to use the strategies they're learning in their relay classes in the classroom. A piece of advice that I would give a resident advisor is to make sure that you trust and value your fellow. I think a lot of times as master teachers, we think that we know all there is to know about teaching and managing classroom behavior, but our fellows are learning a lot in their classes that they can bring to the table. So value their knowledge, value what they have to bring, and listen to that. And in doing that, I think you're going to have a great relationship.